Alrighty, what is up, YouTube? Today is, well, should be July 17th, and I'm recording this, but I'm recording this on a Saturday because I forgot to record it yesterday. But it is what it is. Let's get straight to today's trade recap, which was July 17th of Friday. Okay, so first things first, what we want to see is, I remember yesterday, where did it open? Price opened up right here. I remember yesterday, I told you guys that the draw is more than likely going to be down here. If we don't react here, we're going to come down and react here, right? And that is exactly what the fuck happened during Asia session. We opened up right here. We had a nice little internal manipulation, and then from there, we dumped. Now, right when we're dumping, I'm like, okay, we're bearish. So I didn't trade Asia, obviously, but I was looking at Asia, and I remember telling myself, okay, we're definitely going to continue to just flush lower. Now, I did want to see a reaction off of this, and potentially that if we swept this and continue higher, I'm like, okay, we're probably going to be bullish, and then all of this is going to be nice to sweep, right? Especially the fact that we have nice equal highs up here, which are extremely fucking nice, and I really wanted to see a sweep, but we did not get. Now, something that I did not really understand through price action is the fact that price had so much liquidity under there, which automatically just tells me that I was kind of retarded for thinking that this is the low. Well, obviously in hindsight it's easy to think, but in reality this was a low that we could have reacted off of. But we also have so much liquidity underneath that we would just need to sweep, right? And then after that, you just expect, okay, this is the low that actually has no more liquidity underneath, and all the other liquidity would just be like all the way lower, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it would be like, oh my, yeah, 100%. Like it would be way low, right? You could even look at it. I was actually looking at it from a 1 hour perspective. As you can see, this is just so much cleaner than this, right? Because this, there's still this, and there's still this, and there's still this, and then there's still this, right? So this was the actual clear sore thumb that we wanted to sweep. Now, and what would have confirmed that for me was this poor reaction and then dumping, right? Once we continued to dump past it, I was like, okay, we're probably for sure gunning for this low. That is 100% going to be our draw. And I was mistakenly thinking that this was going to be the draw, right? Anyways, regarding that, price came up here and then swept this high super nicely, as you can see. And then this was during pre-market, and then price dumped, and then crashed right at open. As you can see from open, a devastating dump. So you can see right at open, it's just unfortunately, couldn't even have traded this, or could have even taken shorts. It's just a straight dump. So now after we dumped, I'm like, I have two scenarios in my head. I'm like, okay, we either long or we're either bearish. Like, there's only two fucking options that could fucking happen here, right? And the option was this. Oh my god. Ugh. So we continue to dump, and I'm like, okay, we could be bullish here after we swept the weekly objective, right? The only thing I didn't really like about it is that, like, we really dumped 100 points past this low, which is, you know what I mean? It just goes to show that we're not really reacting off of this low, right? This is the only fact that I was a bit confused on, because now looking at this, even after we pump, I'm not really too confident as this is the low of the week. Even though if you just like in hindsight, I wasn't confident, right? I mean, sorry, when in real time I wasn't confident. Obviously now in hindsight, we ended up making this as low of the week, right? But yeah, so that was what I was confused on. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't really like, there's a high chance that this low is not protected, right? But we obviously just don't predict. We react to price. Now, regarding that, let us continue to going through price action. So, we understand that price dumped, and you could look and see what we dumped into. Realistically, nothing. It just looks like we wanted to. Well, I don't know what I just pressed, but looks like we wanted to fill this gap, right? Which, same thing, we filled it, right? Super cleanly and whatnot, right? But yeah, so we filled that gap, which was a gap that hasn't been filled in a while, of course. Anyways, so we filled the gap, and then from there, price can dumped, right? And then we got a nice little pump higher. Now, off of this pump higher, we got a market structure shift, which I didn't really care for as much, but it's still like it was still significant to tell me that okay, there's a high chance that this is the protected low, right? So we got a market structure shift, and then once that happened, we had a nice little order block right here, and that is where I slapped my longs for the stop loss right there. And I targeted, we had also equal highs, if I recall correctly, right here. Right, nice local equal highs. Let's see, let's just mark this as black. Alright, equal highs, right? They're relative equal highs, not exactly on the dot, but they're still equal highs, right? And then that was originally my first take profit. And then obviously by looking at the reaction and us pumping like this, you just assume that this is 100% going to be the low of the day, and you just hold for longer just by understanding that that's the reaction. And then you also, oh, this was already swept, so this is a nice little piece of structure right there that you could have targeted, of course, right? So super clean fucking longs, in my opinion, the cleanest, right? Yeah, and that was actually such a fucking free, easy day. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was genuinely the easiest fucking day you could have traded. Was today. It was, you understand that we had a weekly objective and you just log from there after we sweep it, right? And that is exactly what the fuck happened. Of course, obviously I did not catch this trade. I was in this trade, yes, but for me I only caught $150 because I only wanted winning days, right? Sure, it played out, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? $150, call it a day, move on in my life. That's what I like to do. And because I just need to secure this payout just to get that payout momentum going again, just because it's been so long since I've requested a payout. So that's going to be my goal. And let's just, if I go through the account real quick, this is the balance on the account, $4,672. If I go on performance stats, as you can see right here, the reason this is fucking 50 trades was yeah, crash out. As you can see, such a fucking, it was just such a cancerous day, bro. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, it was just a diabolical day. But yeah, we ended up just catching those too many shorts. If I on that day I showed you guys, and I was on a loss beforehand right here. Yeah, and then this is why there's so many trades, because it was just M and Q. But anyways, regarding that, up 4.3K in this day, and now we're just milking fucking winning days, as you can see right here. Winning day, winning day. So now we're up 3 winning days. Potentially, if we get Monday and Tuesday, that's a payout that I could secure on Tuesday, and then from there we go back to trading normally. Just so I could get that momentum going, because momentum is such a real thing, bro. Oh my god. So I just need to get one payout, and then from there we continue trading back to normal, right? It was easy today. Today was a very easy day to read. Right? It was super easy to read. I'm not gonna lie to you. Price pushed higher exponentially, as you can see. We understood that price is bearish up until we're gonna come down to the weekly objective. Once there, we can expect that price reverses, and that is exactly what it fucking happened. Right? And this would have been a nice little banger. Now after that, price chopped and chopped and chopped. This was really nice. Of course, we had a nice little devil's mark right here, which is 10 a.m. open, never really manipulated. So price came down, manipulated into it, and then pushed higher, right? Which was also a nice setup for trade. And then we came up, induced, just swept this, and some of this LR and then dumped, which is I don't really like. I really don't like this. I don't really like that we're reversing, right? To me, it doesn't really make sense because we have so much liquidity from just like all of this. Like, look how clean this looks, right? To me, we'd want to sweep this. These are all going to be clear draws of liquidity that I want to see us deliver to, right? And that is basically it for this day's trade recap, July 17th. It was a simple fucking day, a nice little banger, and a simple day. There's literally not much to it. That is it. Other than that, this was basically it. All I'm going to do going forward is going to get my 2 other winning days, hopefully whenever they come. I'm not going to chase them. I'm not going to expect to get them on Monday or Tuesday. I'm just going to take a setup that I think is valid, and then once we're up $150, I leave the fucking setup manually and continuously do that for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday up until I get my payout. Once I secure that payout and I have a little bit of, it's not even cash, more it's more of just momentum. Once I get that momentum back up and going, um I will try to do the same thing, one big win, and then from there we just continuously farm winning days. And yeah, that is basically it for today's price action. There's not really much to it. It was very simple, very easy to read. And yeah, going into the day, I had a clear plan. I was clear-headed, marked everything out as clear as possible, and exactly as I planned happened. The only question that I had was the fact that we just really dumped severely past this low, which was a bit of an odd one. But it is what it is. Who gives a fuck? It is what it is. And that is it for today's fucking P8 breakdown. There's not much to it. Anything other than that, yeah, that is basically it. Bing bang bosh till next time, which potentially will be either Sunday or Monday. Can't really tell you. But probably I'll record something this weekend and post it, whether it's a psychological lecture or a story of mine that I want to talk about. But for now, this is a trade recap that was meant to be posted yesterday, and we'll get it posted and we'll continue this continuous post as much as possible. And yeah, as you know, for my weekends, it's since it's Saturday and I'm currently in a weekend, we are still doing my work and everything that I need to do. Potentially, we'll do the weekly review tomorrow that I do every week, and this week I really need to dig deep into it and really analyze why I was trading bad because this week was really clean in terms of price action wise. I just had a problem with trading. I was like I had an issue with reading price action. I don't know. I don't understand why, but that is why we have to figure it out. So that is my weekly reviews objective for this week. Another thing is I want to study weekly highs and lows, where we form weekly highs and lows, and why we form them there. So that's another thing that I'm going to work on today. It's just going to be like more of a quick little back test, just specifically focusing on the weekly candle. And yeah, that is basically it for today, boys. Other than that, bing bang bush, TK out, motherfuckers.